Co-op elevator, and I received it on 1/22/92. Done work.
No, not that puppy. Get him.
By Monday morning.
I'll come in after the reception.
The last overnight train leaves at 6.
Would you miss your brother's wedding?
If I wanted to keep my job, I would.
Well, the door's gotta be that way. Oh, that's close. So we can spin it. Yeah. Well, all we gotta do is set up our jack so it spins for them. Yeah. You know. And then we just lift it up and it'll spin. It'll just right down. But we gotta get so we're centered on that. Oh yeah, on that side. Not much. I maybe should just come and look. It helps usually. Yeah, it's just better to look at yourself. I'm getting close to the ground. Yeah, but walk around the bin and take a perspective, you know. You lose your bearing when you look at the bin. Oh, you sit there. You know, I don't know. You gotta watch the movie. Yeah, yeah, I gotta be this way more. If I drive ahead, Yeah, you got about 8 feet to go. Okay. I was digging in the dirt here. So. Yeah.
Further this way either, you know.
Got a couple of spades, Jeremy? Okay, that's what we're looking for. White one. We didn't want Jeremy, take that piece of 2x6 and drill a hole in the end of it. Big enough to go over that bolt. When drill that, put the nut back on and you'll never bother. We want to just get in that far from the end. And if it hits it, it'll either slide it out. Not a big enough bit. Oh yeah. Jeremy, what? Go get the three-wheeler. Might as well cut the camera off now. After that. You like going that far? Might as well take somebody with us. Go get the three-wheeler and come back. Might as well. It's going to be shorter. There, I tightened the wheel. Tighten the wheel.
people of this and other public television stations and the Sears Roebuck Foundation.
There's always these little quirks you gotta. He likes it. Oh, that's all I know. Something to do with take up the seat, don't have it like this.
Five years ago, or before that community center was built, it's only a couple of years ago. Where did they go with their senior citizens meeting? I went over and visited with Art, but I thought it was Art. I live in that area somewhere.
There's a curtain recall.
Next week, and I got a review.
He's still taking pictures.
so we can get it to pull away from the dormitories behind it.
You mean you had to add some support
Yep.
before you could take it down?
Yeah, which is kind of an oxymoron, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you had any other instances of doing that?
Yeah, very many times. We do a lot of damaged structures. So this is, it's been made much easier because of the cooperation we've had with everybody from Moorhead State and the city. So it's been good.
When the building comes down today and everything is hosed down and the site is secure, is that the end of your company's work?
No, we've got the contract to cart the debris away. That should be completed by Labor Day. One of the reasons that they chose the implosion approach to this is they wanted to get the demolition over with before students came back to school. So we're probably saving about 3 months when you compare it to conventional demolition, a crane and a wrecking ball. So we will be here. We'll be in Fargo or Moorhead. We'll be here for another, 3 to 4 weeks.
Where do you take all that debris?
I forget the name of it. Yeah, no, we're going to illegally dump it somewhere around this.
Well, I'm sure it will be. Don't worry. I didn't mean to suggest that it was going in.
Think about it. The university was really concerned about the environment. So what they did is they had us take all the combustibles out of the building, so the entire building will be recycled. All the concrete will be crushed to be reused, and the steel will be salvaged. So it was a real concerted effort on the part of the university to do this.
Okay, well, we know you've got a busy morning. Thanks very much. Okay, well, that's the demolition expert. We have another Doug with us, Doug Hamilton, who is the Moorhead State University expert. First of all, Doug, it's nice to be with you today.
Great to be with you, Charlie. It's a perfect day for what's going to happen.
It is. It's a beautiful day. We have quite a large crowd here. You got any Vince Lindstrom-style crowd estimates for me?
Yeah, near a million, yeah. No, we have no idea, but we expected thousands, and it looks like we have thousands.
Okay. Well, at some point, we can probably get a shot of the crowd to show folks what's happening here. We'll pan okay. We're going to spin our camera around here a little bit and take a look just at some of the people lined up here. This is 9th Avenue South that you're going to see once we get our picture going. Actually, we're looking south, just south of the campus, and where is it that if people are still trying to get over here at the last second, Doug, where should they head?
Well, 9th Avenue and 6th Avenue would be the straight-on views of it. Of course, the campus is cordoned off from 6th to 9th Avenue and from 14th Street to 17th Street, so they will have to walk into those locations, so time's a wasting if they're planning to come down here.
Yeah, of course, you can, with the size of this building, we've all known it's been a landmark in Moorhead for let's see, 29 years almost, 30 years, 30 years just about. So you can probably see the implosion from a lot of different places. You just won't be up close.
Well, I noticed it yesterday when I was on the exit ramp from Interstate 94 and Highway 75 or 8th Street in Moorhead yesterday. I saw it on that skyline, and I felt a little twinge, actually, because, of course, I knew John Newmier, and that piece of the skyline is going to be gone in just a few minutes.
Yeah, it is one of the first, especially if you're coming in back from the Twin Cities, as many people do frequently around here. It is one of the first landmarks you pick up coming from the east. That, and, of course, the other hall, the beer can hall next to it, but actually it kind of masks that one from most angles. So it is a major landmark. I think a lot of people will miss it.
Nelson Hall next to it will be the only high-rise on campus in Moorhead after that.
Of course, some people have asked, as this has been discussed over the last few weeks, well, are they going to build another big high-rise like that?
They won't build another high-rise. We are currently in the study phase of what our campus housing needs would be, and there may be a proposal for another revenue bond structure. These structures are built with bond sales and are actually enterprises themselves. So,
what did it do to the housing situation when this dormitory had to be emptied last winter?
Well, it created some problems. We did have an orderly relocation of 305 residents within 3 weeks. We notified them the first week in January, and by the 1st of February, we had evacuated the hall. But we had moved them into existing campus housing. We had some spaces available, and then we allowed people to opt out of their housing contracts and move off campus if they wanted to do that. This year, housing is that much tighter, but we anticipate we'll be able to house everybody on campus who wants to.
Okay. We heard Doug Loiseau a moment ago tell us that part of the problem is the building is unsafe. Exactly how is it unsafe? What made it unsafe?
Well, I guess we're not entirely sure, but there was enough question about the structural integrity of the foundation to basically order the retirement of it. And since they have been taking out the interior walls to place explosives and to remove flammables for this implosion, they have found some other issues. So it was obviously the right decision to make.
All right, we have, did this have something to do with the water table, by the way? The higher water table in this part of the Red River Valley?
Well, there was an issue with the foundation, wondering whether the foundation had been damaged, and if so, whether or not a significant change in the water table high wasn't so bad, but if it were to drop significantly, whether that would create an undue stress on the foundation of the building. That was one of the theories about the structural integrity problems with the building, but there are others as well.
We'll come back and talk a little bit about the history of the, sorry, there are a few bugs out here this morning. Trying to get away from the building, I think. A little bit about the history of the building in a minute. But first, I want to ask you what the order of events is here that people, obviously we know the building's going to go at about 7 a.m., but we have a podium set up. Who are we going to hear from first?
Well, you'll hear from Doug Loiseau. He'll tell the crowd kind of what to expect, and it's a very interesting event, obviously, so there might be a couple of questions yet about what they'll see. Then President Barden will make a few comments from the university's perspective. Then President Barden and Student Senate President Stephanie McCleary and a Moorhead woman, Norma Burgum, will team up to push the ceremonial plunger, and Newmier will come tumbling down.
Okay, well, we'd like to see that plunger. We're not going to promise people that because we don't want to miss any of the actual excitement. Doug, I'm going to let you go for a couple of minutes. We'll get back to you a little bit later.
All right, thanks,
Thank you
Charlie.
very much. That's Doug Hamilton, Director of University Relations. Hey, Darren, come on over here for a second. Darren Selvig from our News 11 staff is here with me this morning as well. You were a Moorhead State resident. Did you live in Newmier?
I lived in Newmier for about a year. I was up on the 9th floor, and so this has a special significance, I guess, for me and a whole lot of other people who are here watching today.
Have you spotted your old room here? Are you going to be watching that as the building comes tumbling down?
Yes, I'll be watching that. It's up on the other side on the, the northeast corner, so I'll have something of a look from here.
Yeah, you were on the 9th floor. Now, this is a 15-story building, I believe.
Right.
Built over the course of 1969, 1970. So I guess it's actually been sitting as a landmark here for 30 years now, come this fall. How do you feel as a Moorhead State grad seeing this happen? Does it give you a little twinge?
You know, I do, because it is such an outstanding characteristic of the campus. You could drive in from miles away and you'd be able to see Newmier and in some cases Nelson Hall from wherever you were. Mm-hmm. So this is going to change the look of the whole Moorhead State University campus for, who knows how long.
Absolutely. I know you've been here this morning for quite a while and seen the crowd show up. You got any estimates for me?
Oh, boy. It's going to be... That's right. We're wondering if anybody's actually out there counting heads, because there are a lot of people out here. We noticed they're selling T-shirts over here at a stand, and they have some coffee and donuts over here for folks, and I'm assuming that it's probably selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. There are literally, easily hundreds of people just along 9th Avenue South here, and that's really all we can see. And I know as I was coming over here about half an hour ago, there were people lining up on the other end of the campus, all the different sides, and as Doug Hamilton mentioned a moment ago, there are a number of different possible vantage points farther away where you could actually see the building come down. You just won't be able to see it as it hits ground zero, right, so to speak. So it's pretty hard to say. Maybe no one's watching us, Darren. Maybe they're all watching it in person.
Yeah, that's possible, because there are so many people here. We have 3 cameras alive, and we were out here a little bit earlier, about an hour ago, just planting them, trying to find the best shot. There are some trees obscuring, in some cases, where we're at, but we do have our mast on our live van here.
That's the shot we're seeing right now. This is one we'll be able to show you. This is the mast is the camera sits about 40 feet, about 48 feet up in the air. So this has a slightly different vantage point. Now here's another ground shot. This is the one that's a little bit closer than we are from where we're talking to you right now. I can see it from where I am. It's about another 50 to 60 yards away, and then of course we have the camera that Darren and I are on here. And when the implosion happens, we'll see it from this angle first. Let's just step aside here and show people. We'll pan over there a little bit, Dave. This we believe is going to be your best full front angle, and this is the one we'll show you live. And we'll be showing you videotaped angles of the blast later from different angles. But this is the one that we feel is going to be the best look for you, and we'll have a good shot so you see the whole thing coming down all the way. I'm told it's going to take perhaps anywhere from 7 to 10 seconds for the building to come down, and I think that will be hearing a few oohs and ahs from the crowd at the time. We won't be talking to you when that happens. We'll be watching and keeping an eye on things ourselves. Excuse me. And all of that is scheduled to start here. Hold the mic for a second, would you?
Sure, we'll do.
See, my watch is pretty close here. We're about to start our program at the podium now. So, Jeff, why don't you give us take a look at that mast cam again while we get our camera ready to go to the podium. Doug is at the podium right now. Doug Hamilton is on. We're going to let you hear from him.
Vice President of Controlled Demolition Incorporated. Those are the folks with the contract to bring Newmier down. Doug?
Thank you all for getting up in the morning to come and watch this. First, I've got to say it's really been a pleasure working in this area. Everybody's been so cooperative. I've never had such cooperation as this. What you're going to see is you're going to see this building come down in about 8 seconds. Now, you've got the Pyrotechnics convention in town, and the head of the Pyrotechnics convention has a little surprise. For 2 and 1 minute warnings, we're going to have a few fireworks going off as if ours isn't fireworks enough. But anyhow, we have about 80 pounds of explosives throughout the building. If you watch, we have explosives at the base, 2nd floor, 5th floor, 8th floor, and 12th floor. What you're going to see is you're going to see the columns on the corners on this end detonated first. Then you're going to see the entire sequence progress to the northern side. The building's going to incline its way to the south slightly and then come straight down. So I hope you all like it. Now I'm going to need everybody's assistance. When we get down to the countdown, I need everybody to help me with a 10, 9, 8 countdown. So clear your vocal cords and we'll get ready to rock. Here we go.
Thank you, Doug. I'm Roland Barden, president of Moorhead State University. I would like first to introduce Miss Stephanie McCleary, president of the Student Senate, and Mrs. Norma Burgum, who won the forum's drawing for participating in the initiation of this implosion. Interestingly enough, Norma's husband was one of the construction workers who made this building, and Norma herself was hired to help clean the windows at the end of the construction project. So here she is, and she will help us in just a few minutes. I regret the demise of the foremost landmark in Moorhead and the source of millions of memories for MSU. We remember today the strong and effective leadership of Dr. John Newmier, the 7th president of Moorhead State University. And we salute today the 10,000 students who have lived in the hall over its 29 years of life. They fully represent the wonderful people of this region in their character, ambition, and abilities. As educated citizens, they build each and every day the strong communities and the high quality of life we enjoy in the Valley Empire, Minnesota, and the Dakotas. And thus, I dedicate this event to honor the success of the students and alumni who have lived in this building. Thank you. Wait one moment yet. We are still waiting for the signal, the 2-minute signal. And when you hear that, it...
All right, go with your 2 minutes.
Here's the signal. This is the 2-minute signal.
Okay, let's span around.
Just a signal. How time flies, 1 minute.
That's going to be twice as loud as it was.
We're going to start the audible countdown in just a few seconds, so you're welcome to join in.
Okay, warm up the glasses.
Doug, we're in the red.
Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, well, it's beyond words to explain what you just saw happen here. Take off my glasses here, we're fogging up. You see the dust cloud coming after us. They've offered these masks to people because the cloud is about to get to us here, so there'll be a few minutes of a little cloudy breathing. It was a pretty exciting event. I'm sure you heard the crowd's reaction. It was larger than you would get at most any fireworks demonstration. It was quite the deal. As soon as we have tape queued up, we'll try to show you. We'll show you a replay of it, and eventually we'll show you one in slow motion that'll give you a hint of how this building came down. Which angle we're going to see here first, Jeff? You can go ahead and tell me in my ear what's happening here. Okay, this is going to be the explosion again from the view from our 48-foot mast cam. As the event happened. My monitor is, I can see it in my monitor, so we'll roll it, and here comes the explosion. You can hear it. And it just kind of spills over, and suddenly the space is empty. That is simply amazing. So, Darren, what did you think about that?
Oh, that was outstanding. And I was watching the crowd, half watching the crowd after the implosion happened, and there were varied reactions. One person just stood back and, you could hear him. Some people watched it quietly.
Okay, here's our other camera angle now. This is from the other ground level angle, a little bit different look than we had live for you. There you see the charges going off, the building starts to collapse, and down it goes.
One thing I thought was surprising, Charlie, was that the ground really didn't rock as much as I was expecting. They were warning us about that. So on our ground level camera there, we intentionally set our tripod lower so that it would not move as much. But the ground was...
I don't think we saw any, I don't know, Jeff is in the truck, he can tell me in my ear, did we see any visible camera movement during the explosion? Did it bump the ground at all? I don't think. He says not too bad. It was pretty stable.
This year, jumbo leeches are few and far.
It's starting to smell like
really
a
hard
fire
for
right
trapping
now.
leeches.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
The cloud big ones aren't running. We're out of super jumbos right now, and it's the old.
Okay, we're going to see, now we're going to take another look from the original angle as the building went down.
I just happened to move down about a month ago. I was born in Moorhead and have never fished or anything here. I've been doing all my fishing in Alaska.
Jeff, in the truck, I'm hearing some extraneous audio in my ear. I don't know if that's going out over the air or if it's something I'm just picking up on my own.
Crawler. And what makes them better than an
There you go. That was the, here's another angle, slow motion.
Angle worms are just as, I'm sure they're just as good. But
that's pretty amazing.
Here we go. If they were, we'd be selling them.
Of course, I don't have the trained eye, but it does look as if it went down as they planned it.
It appears to me that that's the case, yeah. It was much as Doug Loiseau described it. The building worked its way in and fell straight down. The cloud, like you said, it smells a little bit like the aftermath of a fire or a fireworks explosion here.
We're seeing some ash in the air, a little bit on our lens.
Yeah, you can probably tell on camera now that it's getting a little hazy, and will be here for probably quite a few minutes. I don't know. I think this is basically good. It was pretty much a windless morning here for this. So the ash will spread slowly across the area. It's not going to be carried in any big wind stroke across the city. And I suppose it's moving a little bit to the south. I can't see how much it's spreading off to the north, but I imagine people will be noticing it as the morning goes on here for a while. It'll take a while for it to clear out. So it was quite the event. If we can find Doug Hamilton here, we're going to talk to him again for a few minutes before we sign off. And we'd like to show you those different angles one more time here. Of course, we'll have a complete recap of this on News 11 tonight at 10 o'clock. But we sure want to take another look at these angles of the implosion one more time for you, because it was a big event here at Moorhead State University. The building was, I believe, was 100 and... here we go. Here's
163 feet.
Thank you, Doug. Check the monitor there, Doug. We're watching a replay here.
Wow.
Jeff, is this our original live angle?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's our live angle. A little bit of slow motion there.
Oh, man.
Sorry, our monitor isn't perfect, but you get the drift here.
You sure do.
Yeah. It was quite an event. So what did you think when you saw that go down?
Well,
here's another look from a different angle. So
again, I felt a bit of a twinge because that's John J. Newmier Hall to me, and I'll miss his name on a building on this campus. Wow.
You asked me earlier about Darren. Darren did live in there. He told me on the 9th floor of this building, so it was... he tried to follow his room down as it went, but it was on the wrong side. This is from our mast cam, I believe, here.
Okay.
A little slow motion version of it for you there.
How'd you like those setup booms from the pyro folks?
I think it got everybody's attention. It's kind of a nice coincidence for you, I guess, that the pyro people were here in town for this.
Yes, it was, and also kind of nice that those booms were louder than the booms of the building. Although the building made a good sized noise too when it went down.
Yeah, it was. It was very similar. I thought it seemed. It could have been the same thing, basically, but we were commenting that a moment ago that the ground really didn't shake much. We had expected a little bit more of a feeling when it went down and our cameras to move a little, but we actually got good...
well, if I can get this off.
Here, there you go.
When Doug Loiseau was doing his descriptions of what people should expect, he talked about, you can consider this building a 5-pound bucket of sand. Now, if you drop that 5-pound bucket of sand on the table, you'll really hear a thud and a shake. But if you pour that 5-gallon bucket of sand on the table, then you won't feel a shake. And basically, that's the difference between what they do and what people expect, I think, which is a big thud.
It doesn't all fall at one time. That's exactly correct. Actually, the air is clearing out pretty well. It looks like the
I could take my camera out.
The dust cloud appears to be moving actually a little bit south and west. So maybe there is a little bit of a wind. I see an airplane overhead. I'm thinking that might be our own Mel Stone. We were going to be shooting it from the air as well, which we won't be able to show you till tonight. But that, excuse me, that'll give you a little different look at it.
Look at that. Wow.
And suddenly there's nothing there. Well, there is as the dust cloud clears, you can see the pile of rubble. I think we're going to wrap up here, Doug, in a moment. But Jeff, what are the chances of taking one more look at each angle before we say so long? Oh, we did. Okay. All right. Well, that's the event that everyone has been waiting for. We'll show you a little bit more of the blast as we step away. Actually, Jeff, could you bear with me for 1 second? There's one other person I'd like to interview here, if I can get him over to camera. Can we have a couple of minutes? The former president of Moorhead State University. Hey, how'd you like to be on television, President Dill? We're being very informal here this morning. This is live. Be careful now.
All right.
Thanks, Doug. This is former Moorhead State President Roland Dill. You were president when the building went up?
Yes, when it went up and it was opened, yes.
How do you feel about this?
You know, I felt fine. It was a decision that had to be made until it started to crumble, and I felt just a real pang of sadness. I suppose it's something to do with age and the idea of the transitoriness of life.
Yeah.
But it's I played Santa Claus in every floor of that building in my day.
And you knew a lot of students who went through there and still know many of them.
I gave diplomas to about 10,000 of them over there.
As you mentioned, though, I guess it's just one of those things that has to happen.
It has to happen. It has to happen there. When I first came here in 1963, that first year I was here, they tore down 2 buildings, the old dormitories, to make room for the Center for the Arts, which I must say, when I was an assistant professor of English, I never thought would be named after me.
Let's hope they don't implode that soon.
That should last a long time, I would think.
Yeah. Well, and perhaps the Newmier name will find its way to another building somewhere along the line.
Oh, I hope so. He was a great president. Okay. After 26 years, I still felt in his shadow. That's all I can say about him.
Well, I'm sure President Blding has the same feelings about you. Thank you very much, President Dill, for spending a few minutes with us. Here's President Blding, too. We're going to go from the past to the present. We'll stay on here just for a minute longer. President Blding, step right on. Come on a little closer here. We just talked to your predecessor here. Of course, he was president when the building went up. How does it feel to preside over the demise of a building like this?
Well, it's a bittersweet day because it's the end of an era for the students of Moorhead State University and all the staff that have worked there. And so I think there are a lot of memories that are brought forth at a time like this. But I hope that they're joyful memories. And certainly we look forward now to getting this area cleared, and we look for new beginnings and start to imagine and dream for the kind of housing we'll have here in the future.
I would suspect that in a short term, you mentioned the nostalgia that goes with losing a building like this, and former President Dill did as well. But for the short term, it's been kind of a hectic irritant, I would suppose, for the university to have to deal with this sudden discovery that the building was faulty.
Yes, we have read a lot of engineering reports in the last 5 months, but I think that the correct decision was made. I think the engineer from Hires Engineering Company that said it was time to take this building down and to look for other ways to house our students. It was a courageous decision. I think it was a correct decision. And what we see today is the end play on that.
And from that standpoint, I suppose you feel a certain amount of relief that it's working its way out.
Well, as soon as I get word now that this building pitched down the way they wanted it to, then I'll be relieved. But I'm just happy that everything appears to be going exactly the way the contractor said it would.
Okay, very good. President Roland Blding, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting us to watch.
Always welcome.
That's President Blding from Moorhead State University. Darren, step back on in here for a second. Darren Selvig's been with me this morning helping out. Any final thoughts here as we'll roll the tape here and say goodbye to folks?
Well, it's a pile of rubble now, and they're letting us go in with our cameras, and we'll show you that tonight at 10. But it certainly doesn't look the way it did. It's a lot smaller and compact, the entire structure.
Here's another look from the mast cam angle as the building goes down. As Darren pointed out, they apparently have given the all clear, at least for some groups of people, because we see activity around the pile now. Now that we can see the pile of rubble, there it goes, Newmier Hall going down. That's it from here on the Moorhead State University campus this morning. Charlie Johnson, Darren Selvig, our thanks to Doug Hamilton from Moorhead State University, Doug Loiseau of Controlled Demolition Incorporated for helping us out with our coverage here, and of course to President Blding and his staff, and thanks also to former President Dill for doing an impromptu appearance here. And don't forget, we'll have full coverage, show you this a couple more times, and including from a couple different angles tonight on News 11 at 10 o'clock with Amy Hockert, so be sure and join us then. And of course we'll be following the story as they go, as they clear the rubble away tomorrow. We'll see how things go. So thanks for being with us on this early Sunday morning for the implosion of Newmier Hall. We're going to join the Today Show in progress.
Tonight's presentation brought to you by Charmin Ultra. Where would you be without it?
You really doing it? You're coming out of retirement? You gotta be kidding. The game won't be the same without you.
Why? But why are you going back, George Whipple?
Someone has to tell people there's a new Charmin. It's more than just squeezably soft.
It now has a thick, pillowy texture, so it's the most absorbent and strongest regular bath tissue.
I'm back.
He's back because new Charmin's better.
New Tropical Punch Shampoo. Tear-free. I can see. No nasty knots. Shiny hair. New Tropical Punch Shampoo. Because we're worth it too.
Hey there. Now I got something here that's downright fun. My popcorn chicken. Crunchy morsels of tender white meat. It's back for a limited time. Just $1.99. Go Colonel. Go Colonel. At KFC, we do chicken right.
So I says to the guy, of course I'm paranoid. I'm the new crispy M&Ms. Look at me. Crispy center, milk chocolate. Nobody knows what it's like to be hunted for food. Nobody!
Opening arguments start at 9:30, whether this arthritis pain goes away or not. So I took something strong, something I knew would work. I took Advil liquid gels. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain. Liquid gels are the only pain reliever with liquid inside. Nobody else has that. Nobody. So when you don't have time for arthritis pain, take Advil liquid gels. Relief that's stronger than pain.
My Italian mom's cooking was always full of surprises. Like the Olive Gardens. Take their new seafood Alfredo. It's sauteed shrimp and crawfish tossed with your classic fettuccine Alfredo. Plus all the salad and breadsticks you want. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
All summer, TGIF is gonna be hot.
There he is.
And here's the guy that's making it sizzle.
Woo! Oh, they love me. They really love me, huh?
DL Hughley, now on TGIF. He the man. With Home Improvement, The Hughleys, Sabrina, and Boy Meets World, it's the night to watch.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'm a witch.
Yeah, baby.
TGIF Fridays only on ABC.
Hey, this is what you want.
Saturday!
We know where to get it.
Disney's One Saturday Morning. This is what you want. Friends large, small. This is what you get. You can get it all.
Take a ride with Doug.
They rule the school.
She's too hip for 12. Our Saturdays are cool.
This is what you want. Disney's Mickey Mouse Works. This is where you get it. So set your alarm. Disney's One Saturday Morning. ABC Saturdays.
It's the way juicy turkey breast and crisp bacon, or tender steak and melted cheese, fold into a tortilla to become a wrap. And it's the way a wrap filled with your choice of fresh ingredients unfolds a great new taste. Introducing 3 delicious wraps from Subway, made just for you. The steak and cheese, turkey breast and bacon, or chicken parmesan ranch. Subway, the way a sandwich and a wrap should be.
Thought you could handle the intense orange taste of Tang in a glass? Wow. Well, now we're throwing something else at you. New Tang in a pouch. Vitamin C.
Whoa.
3 high-intensity flavors. Fruit frenzy, berry panic, orange uproar. Tang, it's a kick in a glass. And now, in a pouch.
Channel 8 Television, WDAZ, Devil's Lake, Grand Forks.
Return to the wonderful world of Disney.